5. Now, 14-year-old Isabel Connolly and her brother Robbie, who's 11, both have chronic medical conditions. But last night, they were representing the UK charity Over the Wall at a glitzy gala in London. The charity, founded by the late Academy Award-winning actor Paul Newman, basically helps organise therapeutic camps for seriously ill children. They've been actually on these therapeutic camps run by the charity, and I'm pleased to say that we are joined in the studio by Robbie and Mum Annie as well, and joining us after what was an amazing 24 hours alongside the likes of Renée Zellweger, Danny DeVito, David Gray, all at last night's gala. Guys, thank you very much for coming in. Lovely to talk to you. Let's start with you first, Robbie. How would you describe the last 24 hours of your life?
Hectic. It was all loads of fun, all crammed into a short period of time.
So tell us a bit about what you actually did then. What happened?
So before the actual thing, we all practiced doing different songs together with all the other campers. And we sang Raw by Katy Perry and Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head from the film done by Paul Newman. And we also did Fight Song by Rachel Patton. So
right, so you've been performing on stage in front of all these celebrities?
Yeah, it was really exciting.
Did you get to meet them all?
I met quite a few. I met Danny DeVito. He was really funny.
He came up and made you laugh then?
Yeah, he all hung around with us and made us laugh and said jokes and all.
And Annie, as the mum, Isabel's not here tonight, she's not feeling too great, but it must have been thrilling to see them being part of this.
It was absolutely an amazing, amazing night. Packed full of people and punters who paid a lot of money per head because they wanted to support the charity. But to watch my two children on stage with the other campers, there were 11 children in total, and they'd come from all around the world. I think for my husband and I, it was unforgettable, and we were so wired afterwards. We were awake till 2 in the morning, and we went looking for a bar, but there was no bar.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say, and we just strolled into a bar, and there was Rennie and Danny just having a drink, and we sidled alongside, and then...
No, but they were very friendly, and we met lots of them backstage, and they were charming. But it was really amazing to see the kids, who were all pretty musical, I think that's why they were chosen, performing, and pulled it off, and you forgot about their illnesses. I mean, we know, and all the parents know, and it makes you burst with pride, but you're just watching these kids loving being on stage, performing for the charity that's helped them so much. It was a really stunning night. I'll never forget it.
Well, Kevin Matheson is the CEO of Over the Wall, the charity behind all this, and he joins us on the line as well. Good evening, Kevin. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Steve.
Tell us a bit about the charity first, then. I mean, what do you actually do? Tell us a bit more about what you get up to.
Right. So basically, what we do is we give children who have serious illness, and very often children who have serious illnesses find themselves socially isolated. They lose self-confidence, self-esteem. All the decision-making in their life gets taken away from them. What we do is we provide a week of camp for them. It's totally free of charge, and we run a range of activities where the children are stretched a little bit. They do things they've never done before, but they're in charge of the decision-making about what they can do and how they do it. And it's transformational. We see kids arriving at the camp. They'll be shy, they'll be nervous, they'll be worried, and within a day or two, they're just wild. They're just kids. And very often, the parents get a massive surprise when the kids come back home, because the most common comment that we get back is that we don't know what you've done, but you've given us back our daughter, or you've given us back our son. And perhaps Annie can vouch for that.
Yeah, she just got a big beaming smile over her face as you're talking. I mean, how lucky were Isabel and Robbie then to be involved with this? Of all the children, it seems, from all over the world to be chosen, they were very lucky, weren't they?
Well, they were very lucky, but they're very talented children, and they did themselves, they did their mum and dad, and they did us proud, because last night was about a chance to... There are about 30 camps worldwide, and this was the American network, Paul Newman Network, came across to London to run the gala on behalf of the European camps. So there were about 7 or 8 camps there last night, and they all had children represented from each camp up on stage with Danny DeVito, with David Gray. It was just a fabulous night, and we raised a lot of money for the charity.
I was going to say, how much did you raise?
We're still going to get the final figure, but we reckon we raised enough to run 2 full camps next year. In each of our camps, we take about 60 kids and about 80 adult volunteers, and the camps are totally free of charge for the parents. So this is one of the big fundraising events for us each year. And people from London, from businesses, from all over turned out to support us. It was just phenomenal. A fantastic night.
Brilliant. Well done for you guys for getting it off the ground. We've got some very happy people in the studio. I'll let you get back to doing what you're doing this evening, Kevin. Thanks for joining us on the programme. Kevin, who's the CEO of the Over the Wall charity. Robbie, look, you've got your school uniform on today. Have you? Is that your... No, you've not come in your school uniform. So you haven't been to school? Have you been to school?
No, I managed to persuade my mum to let me out of school
Well
today.
done, Mum. Top work. So, you've got so much to tell them tomorrow when you go back, have you?
Yeah, I get to tell them I met Danny DeVito and Corinne Bailey Ray and all other celebrities, and I sang in front of loads of people. And
did you get lots of photos and selfies and all those sort of things?
I didn't pluck up the bravery to get a selfie with Danny DeVito, I'm afraid.
You probably wouldn't fit in your shot. To be fair, you'd be too tall for him. I think you'd be like this, and he'd be down there. You wouldn't fit in the shot. It'd be it's just been amazing then for the kids. I mean, you see the smile on Robbie's face. You can hear how pleased Kevin was for it. What do you think this has done for your children, Annie?
I mean, Steve, this was kind of the cherry on the cake because they went away on their first camp at the end of August when they were in Great Ormond Street for many, many, many months this year and also last year. A nurse had recommended the charity and we applied while they were still in hospital, and I was so thrilled that they were given the chance to go and that their illness and the impact of it was recognised. So they had an immensely brilliant, riotously funny, silly week on camp, and they were given some childhood back. You know, when you've got very poorly children and they lose that sense of being young and invincibility really in hospital, they go on camp, they're given some independence from their worried parents, and we get a break, we get some respite, and they just have a riot for a week, which is what Paul Newman's plan was. And so then when they did this gala and we got the call, it was like a mini camp for them because they've been in London since Saturday rehearsing, and we got to go too and look after them. But actually we were banned from all the rehearsals because parents were annoying, they get in the way.
Of course they do.
And all we knew is when we were outside the hotel, we could hear them singing and practicing Raw up in the room, and they just sounded phenomenal. So it was really a tremendous night for a truly fantastic charity. There are lots of good charities out there, but for my children, this charity remembered that they were children and gave them that bit of childhood back and let them be children again. And it sort of pushes medical conditions and doctors and hospitals and needles and tests and surgery. It all pushes it into the long grass, and it lets them be them again, and gives them confidence. An amazing charity. It's part of the Serious Fun Network, and that's what Kevin was talking about. So they were really lucky.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Robbie. Send our best to Isabel as well. I know it's had a long week. Yeah, a long week.
Really
Time
tired.
to rest up. So appreciate that she's had a great time as well. Thank you so much. Enjoy telling your friends all about it at school tomorrow.
I definitely
There'll
will.
be lots of questions for you. Lots of questions. Mum, thank you very much for coming in as well and sharing what was a very special few days then.
Your county,
Your sport.
this is BBC Radio Gloucestershire.